Yo, what's going on? It's Indolestic, also known as Michael Lee. I'm the founder over at Rhozeland, and welcome to the next episode of Rhoze Podcast. I'm here with a special guest. I want to welcome in Sina from TO Musicians Hub.
Hey, Sina from Toronto Musicians Hub. Also Rupert, glad to be here. Very nice space you got here. Thanks for inviting me.
Exactly, and we're here at the Toronto North York Central Library. Shout out to the Entrepreneur Program for giving us the space to do this here. But we'll get into it. I mean, Sina and I have known each other for the last couple of years, right?
I think it's been almost 3 years.
It's been a journey, and it's crazy because I came out to one of his events, and then we just kind of hit it off the park. And then ever since from there, I think we just really connected on just being builders, entrepreneurs, and just artists, creative people in the industry. So, Sina, anything you want to say about just meeting up and connecting for the first time?
Yeah. So I think it was our third event. Toronto Musicians Social Mixer.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were there, and we connected with a lot of different people. And we just really connected with you guys, right? Because we had kind of the same kind of synergetic goals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of connected, and we've been collaborating since then. Because our goal was to connect Toronto's music scene, and you guys had a very similar goal with your studio, Rhozeland Studios and everything. So we met a lot of other people who kind of had similar goals too, and you know, we're glad that we helped Toronto's music scene get more connected. And
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, for the audience tuning in for the first time to watch, tell them a little bit about TO Musicians Hub. What is it?
Yeah.
Why did you start it?
So it's kind of a personal story for me. Starting Toronto Musicians Hub. I've always wanted to make music, and I just grew up in a place where I played a lot of sports, and my friends didn't play music, and I was the only one who actually kind of wanted to make music professionally.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
You're the black sheep.
Yeah. So I just I guess I didn't really have any connections in the music scene, at least not the connections that I wanted. Like I'm more into like rock and metal and stuff like that. And just didn't know too many professional musicians. And I tried connecting with people online for like almost a decade.
Wow.
And I met a lot of people, but it was just, I would kind of go online on Kijiji or something, meet, like it would take me like a week and a half or 2 weeks to find someone and then meet them. And then we figure out we're not even compatible because there's like, you know, what the odds of being compatible is very low, right?
Yes,
so then I noticed the event space in Toronto was kind of blowing up. And I noticed that there was a lot of tech events, a lot of performance events and stuff like that. But I didn't see any events that solved the problem I was having. You know what I mean? So like I was saying, what if I create a space where people like me who want to make music, who want to connect with other musicians and in Toronto would meet, and you would have the opportunity to meet a lot of people at the same time to find the people you're compatible with, you know? Because just meeting people one by one, you know, a book that's written like 5 words a day is never going to be finished. It's kind of like that. So if you keep meeting one person per 2 weeks, you're never going to find the right people to collaborate with. But if you're meeting like 100 people in the same place, then, you know, you talk to everyone for like 5 minutes and you'll figure out who is more likely to be compatible. And then I still haven't made any music. But I helped other people connect, you know?
well, it's a big thing because you started off as a person that liked music, and you said that you were into rock. So like, how did that kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've listened to mostly rock. Well, I listen to everything.
Yeah.
I also make all types of music, but I don't record. I just play it on guitar, and then I kind of record it on my phone, not professionally. I have a lot of recorded scraps on my phone and on my computer. It's not a specific type of music. One of them could be more poppy. Another one could even R&B, you know what I mean? But most of them are close. I would say mainly grunge. That's the That's the main type of music. If you had to choose a genre, I'd say 70% of them are like grunge.
Rock has kind of taken a step back with being one of the more popular genres, would you not say? Or would you say it's still kind of up there?
They have their own crowd, but it's not a crowd that goes out and publicizes that they listen to rock. You know what I mean? But I feel like people who listen to pop music, they're constantly advertising, I listen to pop. So you might not know about them, but there's a lot of people who still listen to rock music.
Well, they got a dedicated fan base. And the reson why I'm bringing it up is because when I go to the TO musicians events, it's so diverse. So I'm just wondering, how did that all just come
happen?
to
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So the reason it's so diverse is because when I started it, I didn't have a community. And it started from nothing. And from the beginning, I marketed it towards all musicians. You know, I didn't kind of just choose a niche and just target a specific niche. I tried to connect people from different musical backgrounds and encourage them to collaborate with each other. We even encouraged on our first few events, we're like, cross-genre collaborations come through, you know? It doesn't have to be a specific community, you know? So that's why it's so diverse. We made it diverse from the beginning. You know?
And what was really cool was actually, I remember going to my first TO musicians event and just coming in and seeing all the colored labels. And was it the wristbands? Right?
Yeah,
something like that, right? Like they had all these.
You got a name tag. You say, like, what kind of? Are you a producer? Are you a rapper? Singer?
Exactly.
You know?
Was this like one of the first things you implemented when you did the event? Like, when did you kind of realize?
From the beginning. Yeah.
Right.
I kind of picked it up from another tech event that my friend, I helped like start it too, but it's Tech and TO.
Yes, Tech and TO.
Yeah. So it was my friend's idea to do it for the tech event, and I kind of took that and I saw that it worked for the tech industry, because someone would be, I'm a UX designer, UI designer, and they would put it over here or they had wristbands too, and I just copied my friend. Yeah.
Well, they say it right. It's like good artists copy, but great artists steal. Something like that.
Oh shit!
It's something.
Yeah. Anything you're good at, you know, do it. If you're good at stealing, steal.
Well, you're good at networking and making some music, but like, it's funny, right? For the people that also are tuning in.
If you're good at being a criminal.
And for the people that are tuning in, watching what we've got going on and just listening to Sina's story, the last event was December, right? That was like last year. So it's been a little while. What happened?
I constantly had to spend time on it. And we had a team too, but it's not like the amount of time we spent on it, it's not a full-time job, because we don't really make money from these events, right? We kind of break even, or sometimes, you know, overall we're like, at the end, we're kind of breaking even, but the amount of time that we had to spend on it didn't allow us to spend time on our own kind of personal jobs or businesses and whatever
outside of just on that.
So I kind of zoomed out a little bit to just let everything marinate a little bit, right? To concentrate a little bit on my own businesses too, because I had a knee injury and everything. So I kind of zoomed out, and then I also had my team, Lou and Titor, who really helped me push through and make all these events. They also were spending a lot of time on these events, and we all needed a little bit of space to just zoom back and come up with ideas for new, unique events. And we're planning to start events again in a few months. We haven't got an exact date, but it's going to be a little bit different, because we're going to have like jamming sessions. We did have jamming sessions on our last events too.
The jam session.
Jam sessions, but it's going to be a little more organized. So we're going to have a different floor for people who want to jam, and then another floor for people who want to network and open mic. So we're just getting all the logistics in place, and we're gonna definitely be back.
In the beginning, you felt like it was hard to really connect and just really come up with this idea. And then you mentioned that you have a team. So like, how did that kind of like come to play?
She met my co-founder, Tochi. You know Tochi, right? Shout out to Tochi.
Shout out Tochi.
Without him, there would be no team.
Where's he at? He's not even in Toronto anymore, right?
I don't even know, man.
Safe travels wherever you're at, man.
He's probably vibe coding now. He's not.
Anyway, tell us the story.
Yeah, so I met Tochi at my friend's event, Tech and TO.
Okay.
And he's a really smart guy. He's into tech. He's a coder. He's also a designer. He makes really cool graphics.
Professional button clicker. That's what I like to say.
I guess so. I don't know. So yeah, like professional button clicker. First time I hear that. So yeah, he's a very talented guy, right? So I came up with the idea and I did all the investments, found the venues and the whole idea to what type of event it is, who it's targeted towards. And he handled all the website graphics, and also he's a DJ. So he used to DJ and he makes his own electronic music. So, but that was his side thing, right? That's why I wanted to work with him, because he was also in the music scene. So he already had some connections in the house music scene, and specifically Afro house, right? So there was a lot of people who were in the Afro house scene that came to our first events. And so our first event, we had like 20 people.
Wow.
Right? And there was half of them were like Afro house.
How was that? Just kind of like seeing the 20 people. And what was the expectation you were thinking for the first time? 60, 100?
Oh, no. First event, I wasn't expecting much. It was a free event. So, for some reason, when people pay, they like to come.
I know. It sounds counterintuitive, but it actually works.
It works. And then I met the other my other partners at my own events. So basically, we're kind of partners too. You guys have been helping us out with all our events. Rhozeland, shout out to Rhozeland for helping us with all our events with the media, right? Interviews, also like videos, pictures. We really appreciate that.
It's funny too, because you met your team over at your events. We met our team over at your events too. Like we met like a couple people that just kind of like came in through and just connected with us. Vanchika, shout out Vanchika, right? So,
and it's very fulfilling. Like even though I didn't find people to make music with, it's still been very a fulfilling experience to get all these people connected, And
what would you say? It's one of the more rewarding things out of the whole thing.
Rewarding is a better word, that was a better word.
Because it's tough to hear, again, like we all hear about the starving artists or the people that are having ventures, doing events and stuff, and they're just not kind of like getting through that hump. But like, what's keeping you to keep doing it, knowing that you're kind of like, sometimes it's not too good, or you got to just break even. And in society today, it's all about profit.
It's not that. Right? It's like I had some personal things to deal with, and that's also part of the reason. And it's just like my team didn't have enough time to do it on their own either. So I would have delegated it, but no one, like I have to be there for the events to happen. So I had to deal with some personal stuff, but I'm definitely on the way. We're going through the logistics to have more monthly events.
Well, speaking about events, why don't we talk a little bit of some game on some events and just get some of Sina's thoughts on just what you look for in manifesting an event or just really producing an event. So like, what are some things, or just what is the game plan that you usually set up for when you're approaching an event for the first time?
That's a good question. The first is visualizing the event in your head, like what the event is, manifesting it, in visualizing it and manifesting it. And then from there, you gotta kind of have some talent, It's just pure intuition. Just know how to talk to people, get the venues, and
we'll talk to us a little bit about getting venues. What about
what?
Talk to us a little bit about getting venues, because I find that to be a
Yeah.
very interesting topic for a lot of people. It's usually kind of where
Yeah.
it kind of it's like the end all be all, right? If people can't get secure the venue, it usually kind of stops from there. But
So
what are your thoughts?
You gotta give the venues incentives, right? So like when you go in to talk to them, put yourself in their shoes and be like, if I had this bar and it was empty at these times, or it wasn't full, and I wanted it to be full, what would I want someone to come and tell me? So if you go to someone, you know, I don't want to reveal my secret, you know,
The secret sauce.
No, I'm kidding.
You gotta subscribe.
Yeah,
no, I'm joking.
You also gotta be like kind of charming, right? So you gotta go and like kind of
smile a little bit.
Yeah. You gotta
slick back your hair.
Yeah, you gotta befriend the
Go
people.
for a little wink.
Yeah, go. Yeah, exactly.
Touch them.
Make sure you smile. If you don't smile, you ain't gonna get no deals. You know what I mean?
No deals.
Yeah, you gotta smile. You smile. That's why you get. Look at this guy. He's smiling.
I'm smiling because I'm with a beautiful guy
And
like yourself.
it's gotta be a real smile. You know, not a fit. Your eyes gotta smile too, not just your mouth. If you're smiling with your mouth like this, look at me. No.
Well, what are some negatives that you think? What are some red flags? You go to a venue and you're like, this is not it. I do not see myself kind of being here.
Yeah, because if you, I've never had that happen.
Never.
No, unless the venue is like small or something, you know.
Have you ever had any bad experiences with venues? Maybe it's not necessarily a red flag, but like you were going
one
through
thing that I
operations.
would, we've done events at different places all the time. So like I've dealt with a lot of different venue owners and venue managers. So one thing that's really important, getting everything in writing, because people forget, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you have a deal with a venue, you gotta, email is enough. Just email them, be like, confirm, they confirm it. And you don't even need to sign anything necessarily. As long as they read your email and confirm it, then you know what you agreed on, right? But a lot of times, studio, I've had this happen where a few times we had like last minute changes with our deals with the venues, right?
Okay.
So I'm not gonna go into specifics, but like you know, we didn't really have everything in writing where we confirmed. We had it like a verbal agreement, and I would almost every time it's gonna change last minute if you don't have a like a written agreement.
Well, how do you find like the event scene today in Toronto? Like there's so much going on. I'm sure you know the World
so
Cup
this is
and
what
all
I was
that.
gonna say. So at first, when I created my event, and I didn't know anyone else who did the same thing, but I realized that there are people who do similar things to us. You know what I mean? There was what do you call it? Classics. What's his name? I forgot.
Classics.
Something Classics. New Classics.
Okay.
Right? There's people who do similar things to us. Oh, and Open Concepts.
Okay.
That's kind of similar to what we do too. But what I realized is it's hard to get into those communities without actually knowing people in those communities. You got to know people in those communities to go into those communities, because it's not like out there, it's only people who follow each other that know about it, right? So if you're out, like you're new to Toronto and you go on Instagram or whatever, or you go and you try to find a space to find new people to collaborate with, I realized that what we did was a little different than everyone else. They were like communities, we're like a platform.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So because I started with no community, so I had to make it more like a platform, less of well, it's a community now, but like it started as just a platform. So that's what I realized. And then I feel like helped all these communities connect to each other too. You know what I mean? So as a result, I think Toronto's music scene is much more connected than it used to be, right? Because Gussapalooza also came to our events. Gussapalooza is a indie rock festival, and now they know everyone from our community, which involves like R&B, house music, all types of music. So now Gussapalooza is not just rock, you know what I mean? So they also have people from our community who are going to be performing there, including like hip hop, rock, R&B. It's going to be like a mix of genres. Like, so yeah, I'm glad we did that. It took 2 years of a lot of hard work, but it all paid off at the end. And it's very rewarding for sure. Cause like Toronto is a much more connected, and you guys also helped a lot with connecting Toronto's music scene with your events and studio.
Where do you feel like the scene's going now? Just with everything that's just been melting and boiling up, because things have changed a lot. And I agree. I think the city is a lot more connected, and these communities are they all have a connection with each other. It's all related.
They
it's
used
all
to be a little more segregated.
Yeah, exactly.
After everyone did all these events.
How do you find using the online internet, all of that, to promote what you're doing?
We interview a lot of people at our events so that people know the type of people that come to our events. So in the future events, people look at our page, our Instagram page, they see, okay, I like these people, I want to connect with them or whatever. Yeah. And they go, okay, let me join these events and get to meet these guys and potentially collaborate with them, you know? So, just making sure that we bring our events vibe onto the social media. You know what I mean? After having our events, we try to make sure everyone's friendly. We try to bring a very inclusive and friendly vibe from the beginning. Like we try to greet everyone, connect everyone. Like if someone's not like by themselves, we go talk to them and just get them connected. We create a vibe, really connected and friendly vibe on our events. And then we take videos and pictures of what's going on, and we post it on Instagram so that people know what's going on. So that, that's how we keep it going and get new people coming to our events every time.
Now back to music. How do you feel about the scene now over there?
Yeah, so I like how it's connected right now. Everyone's connected, supporting each other, But there's one thing that I want to quibble with, but it's not a big deal. But this is something that's going to allow... Right now, there's a lot of great music being made in Toronto.
Right.
But if we want to get more world-class music to come out of Toronto, I feel like people should be a little more critical of each other's music. So, like, let's say you listen to your friend's music or someone you know from events or someone you know in Toronto who's a musician and makes music, and you hear something you don't necessarily like, but you tell them, hey, it was great, whatever, but you don't tell them that specific part that they could maybe change a little bit or whatever. I feel like people should be more honest with their criticism or like constructive feedback, right? Yeah. I feel like people should give each other more constructive feedback, because I feel like a lot of people say, hey, yo, that was crazy, I'm going to put it on my playlist. They listen to it once and then they take it off their playlist. You know what I mean?
That's this.
People do that all the time.
LARP.
You know what I mean? Don't be like that. I think people should be a little more honest with each other about each other's music so that people can improve even more. And I mean, if you want to get to a world-class level, I personally, when people show me their music, I tell them like straight up, like this part, it's boring. Change it.
I think that's an acquired skill, to be honest, too. I also find that
because Toronto, everyone's politically correct, so it's kind of embedded within us. But you kind of gotta.
Canadians are nice.
That's why I feel like we gotta kind of diverge a little bit from that to just it's helpful for everyone to improve.
You also might have heard. You might have heard the whole. I think this is like a study or something, just with information about how when you give people feedback or they ask for feedback, everyone is nice at first, but they give the real feedback when you're like outside the room. You know what I mean? And it's something like that. But like for you to just be honest straight up is better.
I feel like 70% positive or 75% positive and then 25%.
They got whole methods too. Some people even say use the burger technique, which is like say something nice, then something hard, and then say the nice.
And put it in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Okay, I like that.
But
I've never heard that before.
But when it comes to like feedback for others, I mean, like how do you find just the music in terms of where Toronto's at? Just where the scene's at.
There's a lot of good music coming out. There's a lot of good music, a lot of very good artists, and I think people should step out of their comfort zone a little more to just make more unique music. Because I don't want your music to sound every music you make. I don't want them to sound exactly almost the same. So I would say step out of your comfort zones and make more unique music. But that's just kind of a constructive criticism. Again, like I'm being honest with people.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really good music coming out of Toronto. But I would encourage people to diversify the style of music they make a little bit more.
And to touch upon it a little bit more, just to end on off, is like, how's your music going? Like, you still making music? Like, what's
I am not very good at recording. So, and I have to find people to record with and a band or whatever. So I'm not there.
Well, I saw you perform at one of the events.
Yes.
You killed it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That was like
that was time. Deep too. I think again, I don't know if you want to go a little bit into it, but that performance was inspired by something that happened to you, right?
Not really.
No,
but the speech before it was.
Sorry. I thought it was both kind of correlated and stuff.
I mean, it could have been kind of. No, it wasn't.
No,
really. Maybe it felt like it. Maybe I was still kind of having the emotion.
Maybe you channeled that energy.
You channeled it into the music. Yeah.
Even when you think about just like events, marketing, online, where do you fit in the picture with just putting yourself out there? Because I'll be honest, I don't know how you feel about it with teal musicians, but for me, I found it to be a little bit of time for me to settle in, just being comfortable with saying, hey, I'm Michael. I'm this guy that is running this company. I'm a part of my organization, which is Rhozeland. What about with yourself?
Yeah, like I don't really advertise it. Like a lot of people at my events don't even know that I'm hosting it.
Right? So how do you find that? Like, do you think that's a good thing, bad thing? Like, is there a reason why you have it like that?
Yeah, I just don't like to be too public with anything. I did it to meet people to make music with, So that's the main reason I created it. I didn't create it for my own publicity or whatever.
Well, it's funny. Hot take. People say all the time. I find that if you have a company or you have a brand, quote unquote, you need to be putting yourself out there. You need to have a LinkedIn. You need to have your profile pictures. Do you agree?
It depends on what it is, right? Because on a lot of things,
Yeah. Okay.
And Toronto Musicians Hub, if it was strictly like a community with a leader or whatever, okay, yeah. But it's more like a platform. Because it's a platform, I feel like it's not necessary. You know what I mean? It's more like a space, a public space for people to come and connect. So, but if it was something that constantly required me to like do speeches and stuff like that, it's a different story, but it doesn't require that. So, not necessarily, but I'm doing this right now. So so one step towards getting myself out there.
Exactly. How do you find the podcast experience so far? Just kind of talking from the camera.
This is pretty chill. I like it, man. Yeah. This is a sick space.
Sina, is there anything you want to tell the audience just watching for people that might want to start their first event?
So if you want to start an event just for the sake of starting an event, don't start an event. But if you have a goal that you're trying to accomplish, maybe you are looking to go to a type of event that doesn't exist yet, you can make it yourself. So what I created was something that if it already existed, I would have just gone to to it instead of creating it. But I was like, it doesn't exist, so I created. So if you see a gap, then that's when you should start an event. But if you just make an event and go like, I want to create an event just for the sake of creating an event, it doesn't make sense. But I mean, to each their own, like some people might just create events for the sake of creating events.
Anything you want to close off with?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having me today at Rhozeland Studios. And it's always a pleasure seeing you, Michael. And I just wanted to say, we're planning, and in a couple months, we're going to be back with new events, and hope to see all you guys, whoever is watching, at our events and connect with you. And thanks again for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Sina. It was a pleasure. And thanks for everyone tuning on in. We'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.